From lawmaking and to health matters, the Director General of World Health Organization has advised world leaders to pay attention to COVID-19 as part of other life-threatening disease burden. He stated this at the opening of the 23rd International AIDS Virtual Conference in Oakland, San Francisco, United States. Basi Taikpan, who is participating at the virtual conference, reports that the impact of COVID-19 on HIV response took the center stage.
Tabbed 2020 AIDS Conference. It is the first virtual edition of the largest conference on HIV because of the coronavirus pandemic that is ravaging the world. It focused on the link between HIV and COVID-19 with the recognition of global debates around racism. Speakers observed that the pandemic is pulling HIV response off track, advising that countries and their development partners must ensure that people who need treatment continue to access it to sustain the gains of global response on HIV. The task of meeting 1990 targets of 2030 and subsequently ending AIDS, they noted, requires political will and community involvement. While saluting efforts of funding partners in the fight against HIV, countries in sub-Saharan Africa were commended for various interventions towards reducing new infections on the continent. The theme of this year's conference is resilience. It is to highlight challenges of rapidly changing global health landscape and to preserve such in the face of uncertainty. It also insists on the fundamental human rights to live with HIV in dignity and good health over a lifetime and to help each other in doing so. Basi Taikpan, NTA News.
And to speak on this and other issues is the Director General, National Agency for Control of AIDS, Dr. Gambo Gumel Aliyu. Glad to have you in our studios, Dr. Gambo.
Pleasure to be with you.
In spite of so much effort and resources being put into, the fight against HIV and AIDS, Nigeria's burden still remains high. Why is it so?
Well, I may not say Nigerian burden still remain high. Burden is a factor of existing number, the number that is newly catching infection and population. If you look at Nigerian population, we are 200 million or thereabout. And today, the burden, as we are talking about, is 1.3% in terms of prevalence. And that equates to about 1,800,000 people living with HIV in Nigeria. This is as against what we believe in the past to be 3 million Nigerians living with HIV. To me, I would say it shrinks.
Okay. So, well, let's congratulate you for that, therefore. Is there any special management for HIV/AIDS patients, therefore, in terms of drugs and access to doctors, now that some hospitals are rejecting patients for fear of contracting COVID-19?
Right. So COVID-19 is something that just come in unprepared. And usually when you have an emergency like that, you have to devise strategies to respond to the emergency. For HIV, we know facilities are now being used, some of them as isolation centers, and some of them because of the lockdown for the last 2 months, patients have not been going to facility.